What's going on, guys? Alex here, and we're back for another video. And this one is going to be on the 3 phases to lease option wholesaling. Really, this is the 3 phases, in my opinion, to any business. This is including my own agent business and anything you could think of. It's going to come in 3 phases if we were to simplify it. Okay? And the reason I created this video is because I get comments from people as far as where should I start, or asking me about how do I fill out the contract, or how do I talk to buyers, or how do I market for buyers, and they're kind of all over the place, right? And I think that all stems from where should you start if you're new, or if you've never gotten a contract before. You know, which stage are you in? Where do you need help, right? Um, my opinion is if you're just starting out, don't worry about the other 2 phases. Just focus on the first phase, which is lead generation. All right, everything starts with lead generation. And lead generation is broken down into 2 different categories. You're either marketing for leads or you're cold calling, right? One of which, marketing, requires money. This is where you see people buying yellow letters or postcards and sending them to lists that they purchased as well, right? Absentee owners. So this is marketing. This is direct mail. This is Facebook ads. This is Google pay-per-click and other forms of paid marketing, which requires a marketing budget. And I've done another video as far as cold calling versus marketing. Obviously, if you're starting out, I'm a huge fan of cold calling because it requires zero marketing dollars. You can literally start a business for free just with sales. And the cool thing about when you're getting good at sales, right, because you're calling all the free leads and not spending any money on marketing, once you do some deals and you get some profit into your business, now you have some money to play around with in terms of marketing, which frees you eventually from the cold calling. Okay, and then when you're spending money on marketing, it's going to make this entire process much easier because you're probably going to get more motivated leads, right? You're going to get better quality leads, higher quality leads with none of your own time. In the beginning, sales and cold calling is less quality and more of your time, but no money, all right? So it doesn't require any money out of pocket. So there's literally no excuse not to get started. And if you're looking for a place to get started here. Sales, cold calling. And I offer a cold call script, my FSBO script. I offer my FURBO script within other videos. I'll probably link it in the description, okay? So this is where you need to focus, lead generation. Now, part of lead generation are contacts, right? So like I said, you can either market for leads or you can cold call. Cold calling is a much quicker way to get to contacts, right? Because when you send out direct mail, think about how much time it takes you to maybe handwrite a yellow letter. Maybe you have to do 100 of those, handwrite them out. Then you got to put them in an envelope. Then you got to put a stamp on there. Then you got to go to the post office and send it to mail. Then you got to wait a few days for it to get to the seller. And then you got to wait for a very tiny small amount, percentage of people to call you back. And then you finally get to a contact. Right? Can you tell why I'm not a huge fan of marketing in the beginning? This actually takes up time, right? Not assuming you're doing it the cheap route. Like, you know, if you do have a good sized marketing budget, it'll take less time, but it's still going to take more money, and you're still going to have to wait. I should say it still takes time because you still got to wait for the responses to come back to you before you even make a contact and pre-screen them and determine if it's a lead. So I'm always going to recommend, again, I'm going to stop talking about marketing in this video and just focus on cold calling and sales. All right, because there's plenty of leads out there within an hour or 2 hours from where you live, plenty of them to keep you busy, so that you can get on the phone and get right to contacts right away. You can make a contact today, right? You can make 5 contacts today. You can make 10 contacts today, and the more contacts you make, the better you get at pre-screening and identifying if this person is a lead, right? Meaning a prospect. Are they a prospect or are they a suspect? And again, go refer back to my my FSBO script on how to pre-screen someone. All right, so until you're good at this stage, don't even worry about how to make an offer. Don't even worry about how to offer the same thing as a proposal. It's the same thing. Don't even worry about how to conduct a seller appointment. Don't even worry about what contracting to use. You're not even at this stage yet. You haven't even graduated. Like, get good at this first, and when you're confident at this, then your questions are gonna come. You're gonna know what to do next, right? Always travel as far as you can see, and then you'll see further. So get good at this stage. Then it's going to naturally lead to, all right, how do I make offers, right? Because now that I'm good at pre-screening, and identifying if this person's motivated or not motivated. Maybe I can get their mortgage info. Maybe you're good at pre-qualifying someone if they're a prospect or if they're a suspect. That's the first step. And then when it comes to converting, maybe you know of a local investor that you can refer your leads to, right? Then they can teach you how to convert. Or you can just pay for somebody's courses and learn about how to make an offer or proposal, learn what to say when you go on the appointment, learn what contract, learn how to fill out the contract. And then you get good at this stage, right? The conversion aspect, which is all about making offers and getting contracts. Okay, this is all about meeting in person and getting a contract signed. That's the next step for you after that. All right. And then when you're good at this step, which I believe I'm confident at both of these steps, I've gotten multiple deals under contract. I've generated a lot of leads. I've made a ton of cold calls and a ton of contacts. Tens of thousands, maybe even more, just based off my career in sales. And within this business, I've probably made close to, I'd say, tens of thousands of cold calls for sure when it comes to real estate. So, so once you get good at lead generation and then eventually you'll get good at conversion, then you can focus on the buyer side, the exit strategy, right? So this is where you start looking. So once you get a deal under contract, that's when I recommend you start looking for a closing attorney or an escrow agent, depending on what state you're in. Build your buyer systems, start focusing on creating a buyer list, cultivating your buyer list, your tenant buyer list, right? And then you get good at closing deals, right? Which I'm still not confident at. This is something I need to work on. I've managed to close one deal, gotten multiple under contract, terrible close ratio. I need to work on this right here, okay? Not to say I can still improve these numbers too, right? I'm always looking to improve it, but I'm at the stage where, I've already gone through the entire process once, but now I know what needs more attention and, kind of maybe brush up on some of these too. But if you're just starting out, don't worry about conversion. Don't worry about contracts, right? Don't worry about appointments. Don't worry about offers even. Don't even worry about the buyer side, right? Just focus on this. You need to get good at being consistent. You need to make a certain amount of contacts each and every week, right? Have a goal. Have a goal. Maybe your goal is to, if you never made a contact before, make one this week. If you made one last week, make two this week. Until you're getting to at least 15 to 20 contacts a week and you're generating 5 to 10 leads a week, then you can start focusing on getting good at making offers and proposals and what to say when you're on the appointment, how to fill out the contract and all that stuff, which is important too. You're gonna need to know that. But first, get consistent with this. All right. So I want to make sure I make that clear. Hey guys, this is just a side note. I kind of wanted to add this in here. As far as the mistakes that I've made in this process, because I was guilty of studying and buying so many courses specifically on these other phases and specifically on other strategies and basically everything to do with real estate investing. I wanted to learn everything before I ever even made a call, right? And I was guilty of this. So looking back, you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. You don't need to know anything about phase 3 or phase 2 to get started with phase 1. And if you're someone who wants to get to your goal, get to your result as soon as possible, then trust me when I say just focus on phase 1 and spend no money, spend no time, spend very little energy on phase 2 and definitely spend no energy on phase 3. You don't need to know these 2 steps to get started with this first step. Take the first step, take action here. Have the courage to make contacts, have the courage to be consistent every month so you can build trust with yourself, so then you can spend some more time and energy and money learning about how to make offers and contracts to use and maybe getting a mentor to help you out within this phase and this next phase. All right. So that's why I say build trust with yourself, build confidence in this area, and it's gonna lead you along your journey much quicker than it did for me. Here are your 3 phases. This applies if you're a real estate agent as well, like I am. It's the same thing. I post a lot of ads for the apartments that we have, which leads to contacts, which leads to people that are prospects, which leads to, in my case, showings, which leads to applications, which leads to leases signed or closings. And it's the same exact thing. All right, so there's 3 phases. Know which phase you need to work on. If you're just starting out, only focus on this phase. Get confident here. Then when you get confident here, start asking questions about here, contracts, appointments, offers. And then when you're confident there, then get good at buyers, working with attorneys, closing paperwork, all that stuff. All right. So I hope this video was helpful, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Again, I post live seller calls every single Friday. So to get access to those prior to those going private on Sunday, be sure to hit the bell, subscribe. Well, I really butchered that last part. But yeah, any case, guys, thanks for watching. Look out for the next one.